The first time the alien queen looked at me, her court was already preparing to execute me. I stood alone on the obsidian floor of the throne chamber, wrists bound by humming grave cuffs, the air sharp with ozone and fear. Above me, the ceiling arched like the inside of a living beast, veins of blue light pulsing with every heartbeat of the station. Thousands of alien eyes watched. Some curious, most amused, a few hungry. I was a human envoy from a dead border colony. Unarmed. Unimportant. At least, that's what they thought. The Queen of HFY rose from her throne, towering, radiant, terrible. Her crown of crystalline spines flared as she descended the steps, armored guards parting before her. She studied me the way a storm studies a mountain, deciding how best to break it. "Remove his armor," she commanded. The guards hesitated. Humans rarely wore ceremonial armor in surrender. But they obeyed. Plates fell away. Synthetic fabric followed. Until I stood bare-chested beneath the alien lights. The chamber fell quiet. And the queen stopped breathing. Because my body wasn't smooth or weak or soft like they'd been taught. It was a map of survival. Scars crossed my skin in pale, jagged lines. Burns layered over punctures. Old fractures healed crooked. Chemical etchings from poisoned rain. A long, brutal seam stitched across my ribs where a creature with too many teeth had nearly finished the job. Earth had written its history on me in pain. The queen stared, frozen, her pupils dilating as if she'd glimpsed a forbidden text. Murmurs rippled through the court. Confusion. Fear. But that was only the beginning. I hadn't always been like this. I'd grown up on a quiet blue world where storms were gentle and predators kept their distance. Then the climate collapsed. Seas boiled. Skies burned. Governments fell. Earth didn't die all at once. It sharpened itself on us. I became a soldier because there was nothing else left to become. The scar on my shoulder came from a landslide triggered by orbital debris. The burn on my neck from plasma used to cauterize a wound when medkits ran out. The punctures on my thigh were from an arthropod the size of a car that hunted by vibration. I killed it with a broken antenna and my hands. Earth didn't ask permission. It trained us anyway. The queen circled me slowly, her boots whispering against the floor. Her expression had shifted from contempt to something else, calculation laced with dread. "What world forged you?" she asked softly. "Earth," I said. "A Deathworld." Gasps erupted. HFY doctrine taught that Deathworlds produced nothing but feral barbarians, unfit for diplomacy, easily crushed. Yet here I stood. Alive. Calm. Her fingers hovered inches from my chest. She didn't touch. Not yet. What I saw next changed everything. A hologram ignited behind her, archival footage of Earth taken by HFY scouts decades earlier. Green forests. Blue oceans. The court relaxed, smug. "This is the lie you were shown," I said quietly. I inhaled, then exhaled, and nodded. The image shifted. Cities drowned beneath storms. Skies ripped open by radiation. Creatures evolving in months instead of millennia. Humans fighting not each other, but the planet itself. The queen recoiled. Several nobles stepped back. "That footage is restricted," a counselor hissed. "I leaked it," I said, "because you declared war on Earth." The room erupted. Guards raised weapons. The queen lifted a single hand. Silence snapped into place. "You are alone," she said. "Your world is fractured. Why show us this?" "Because you think war is a contest of fleets," I replied. "For us, it's a condition of existence." Her gaze sharpened. "Then why are you here?" "To beg." No, I said. To warn. Around 40% into my speech, the turning point arrived like a blade. I turned my back to the Queen. The court roared in outrage. No one turned their back on HFY royalty and lived. Kill him, someone shouted. I ignored them and reached behind my neck. With a sharp pull, I tore away the scar-disguised implant fused to my spine. The chamber screamed. A surge of energy exploded outward, projecting a three-dimensional field across the room. Battle telemetry, neural recordings, sensory data ripped directly from my memory. They saw what I saw. They felt it. Earthquakes breaking bones. Firestorms that stole breath. Creatures tearing through steel. Humans standing anyway. Crawling. Screaming. Fighting. Dying. Surviving. The Queen staggered as the feedback hit her. She dropped to one knee, clutching her chest, breath ragged. This is pain, she whispered. This is training, I corrected. Every human who lives past childhood learns it. The projection ended. The silence afterward was absolute. None of us were prepared for the truth. The Queen rose slowly, her composure shattered. She looked older, smaller, mortal. You came to end the war, she said. Yes. By threatening us. No, I said. By showing you what happens when a Deathworld finally looks outward. A counselor snarled. Bluff. One species cannot. The Queen raised her hand again. He fell silent. She stepped close to me. Close enough that I could see the tremor in her fingers. She reached out and finally touched one of my scars. Her breath hitched. This one, she said. How? Froze overnight during a solar blackout, I answered. Kept moving anyway. Her eyes glistened. Alien. Vulnerable. What do humans want? She asked. The room leaned in. To be left alone, I said. And if not, to make sure no one ever mistakes us for prey again. She straightened, regaining her crown, her authority. She turned to her court. End the war, she commanded. Immediately. Gasps. Protests. Fear. You cannot, a general began. I can, she snapped. And I will. She faced me once more. Your scars are a declaration, she said. Earth has already conquered you. We would not survive what you call normal. I bowed my head, not in submission, but acknowledgement. As the guards removed my cuffs, the Queen leaned closer and whispered, If your people ever seek alliance, come to me. I met her gaze. We won't seek it, I said. But we'll remember you didn't force us. I turned to leave. Behind me, the Queen of HFY stood in silence, staring at the scars that Earth had given me. And for the first time in her reign, she understood fear. Because somewhere out there, on a broken blue world, humanity was still training. And one day, it might graduate.